You were a power pitcher your entire career. There's a difference between catching a finesse guy and a power guy. Are the mechanics different in the windup, the delivery for a finesse guy that throws a lot of off-speed pitches, curveballs, changeups, split fingers?
Well, I don't really think so. You know, I mean, I think at the end of the day, I mean, let's go back to Jared Weaver. You know, used to throw 93, now he throws 85, 86. You know, maybe he'll get back to 87, 88 as the season progresses. I mean, here's a guy with the best winning percentage in the history of the Angels. Hasn't won the most games, but I think he's third behind Nolan Ryan and Chuck Finley. But here's a guy that just feels like he's confident. You know, he's got a deceptive windup. They can't pick up the timing. So at the end of the day, I mean, I was a power pitcher, but you know as well as I do, what did I tell you and where did I tell you to sit?
Always sit down and away when you got behind in the count. Sit an inch off the outside.
Right, and I didn't always throw it there. But again, just think about it. And again, after I walked 130 in 129 innings, the whole premise of going to instructional league was where I could get a balanced windup. Every day I'd go down and work on this, and I drive the ball down and away to a right-handed hitter. And to do that, I had to load, I had to get my arm up, and I had to extend. If I want to throw a good changeup, I don't just, you know, they're reading your arm angle. I don't just do that. I actually make sure that I finish my pitches. So I just think if you have a good windup, you know, some guys don't hit the ball as far on the PGA Tour, but they're real good players. Zach Johnson comes to mind because he makes a lot of putts and he makes quality shots when he needs them. Pitching's no different.
Let's talk a little bit about Bud Norris. He's had some struggles during the spring. He's had some struggles at the start of the season here now. It seems like he's in and out of that balance point where you talk about making a good turn. You know, I made a suggestion to Tim Belcher because a catcher's advice is limited during the course of the game. Either make a good turn or get your arm up. That's the only two things you can say without changing a guy's mechanics. We talked about him making a good turn. What advantage would it be for him at this point?
Well, I think it started with him last year. The year before, I used to kind of see this, and I just said, sync up your arms. So in other words, when your arms come up, you're balanced. You know, in other words, we're not the leg swingers. In other words, if I come up from my windup and I put my leg up and I put it down, I can pretty much put it in the same spot. And that's a key to having good control.
Right.
If I swing my leg, so if I start getting movement or whatever, one time it may swing like a gate, maybe the gate will open a little bit.
Right.
Mike Torres came over. He was a leg swinger. George Bamberger, the pitching coach, says, oh, no, we don't do that with the Orioles. He won 20 games that year. And all he did was keep him here. So I think Bud has to, a very athletic guy, real good golfer, he has to stay very compact. And the other thing is, I mean, let's be honest, he won 15 games last year, pitched well, could throw the ball down and away, hasn't been able to do that. And I think that's what happens. He's going to be a free agent unless the Orioles re-sign him. That's where the grip pressure comes in.
Yeah.
You know as well as I do, sometimes you'll want to do well, but the only way you can do it is if I can breathe and I can be relaxed.
And relax.
Exactly.
And loosen up that.
Exactly.